Well, we just made it past the record-breaking Texas winter storm, and in typical Texas fashion, it was snowing 3 days ago, and now I'm in short sleeve shirt working in the garden. So I'm going to show you all our garden flip. This is what we do spring and fall, get it cleaned up and ready to replant. Hey, get out of here. So we do no-till. So basically we just take off the top layer of leaves that have fallen during the fall and scratch the surface. I put in an organic fertilizer just on the top. Just sprinkle it in a couple handfuls. It's a 333. It's just blood meal, feather meal, a few more organic additives. And then we re-wood chip the walkways here. So we still have all my big hibiscus, braided hibiscus. I covered those for the storm. So this is the one I've been using. It's a starter mix. I do a lot from seed. So I use this one. They also have a garden mix. It's a little bit different ratio, but this worked good last fall. And you can compost the box. It tells you a ratio. Tells you a ratio on the back, but what I do is I just get a handful like that and then just kind of dust the top and do this for all the beds. And then we're gonna add a thin layer of compost to the top, and then we'll scratch it all in. Alright, got all our wood chips in. Do the wood chips about 4 inches deep. My beds are 30 inches wide with about 16-inch walkways in between. It's pretty spacious enough for most things other than like squash and zucchini and stuff. It gets a little cramped, but I didn't do it. I don't like using wood chips anywhere I'm growing, so I'll do actual mulch back here or just a heavy layer of compost. Last year I had nothing but morning glories going on this whole back fence here because it doesn't shade anything out, but to bring in some extra pollinators. And then Coco, she's gonna dig in the beds first chance she gets. This year I'm going to do nothing but flowers over here to try to bring in some more pollinators also. Alright, we are on day 2 of this bed flip, and it is sun shining. It's going to be a high of 50 today, low of 41, so I'm going to get all the plants uncovered and get everything set up. It's starting to feel like spring again. Come on. Take care of them. So this is my wood chip pile over here. If you've never gotten wood chips before, it can be a little intimidating, but I was able to find a local tree guy in the neighborhood actually. Just cold called him and said, hey, you know, I see you have a wood chipper on the back of your truck. Do you mind dropping the wood chips off at my house instead of taking them to the dump? And he said absolutely. So they pay to dump them. So to get them dumped at your house should be free. Some people, if they have to go out of their way, might charge you a little bit, but it's a lot cheaper than mulch, and it's good weed protection because unlike mulch, mulch has compost in it and dirt, so the weeds can germinate inside that mulch a lot faster than just straight wood chips. So this is mostly pine, but it doesn't matter what it is as long as you put a good healthy layer down, 4 to 6 inches. And I have my compost over here that was finished last fall really. It's still pretty chunky, but we're gonna screen it, get a little bit more fine. I have a screen that I made here. It's just chicken wire and some bigger cage that I had left over. You can make a compost screen out of just about anything, but just stick that over the wheelbarrow, give it a couple good shakes, and get a nice good fine compost out of it to use in the garden. A little treat for the chickens. All right, so that works it in pretty good, but I have a little cultivator tool that I'm going to use just to finish it off, and then pretty much be done. Straighten it up a little bit more and let it rest. So this is a cultivator tool that I use. As you move it back and forth, it just kind of lightly tills up the top surface of the ground. I said we don't till into the soil, you just kind of scratch the surface, get it ready for seed prep, and just kind of lightly aerates the top part of the soil without disturbing anything below it. This also gets the fertilizer and the compost mixed in a little bit better. All right, so that is the completion of our bed flip. We are prepared for spring garden now. Get potatoes in maybe this week. We're about a week late because of the cold front that came through, but we'll get everything going and it'll feel like spring in no time. But that is the bed flips here that we do. If you have any additional tips and tricks, leave it in the comments below, and that way we can all learn and grow from each other, pun intended. So if you haven't hit subscribe yet, hit subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.